Is Dad your hardest client?
I was Maegan's hardest client too.
As a trainer, yeah.
That's why she dumped me.
Because he kept saying he was going to poo, like, on the floor.
What?
You know it's true.
I hope Bryan doesn't include that.
This might be the end of Dad's career.
I know that's true.
Yeah, you said that, like, you would always say that you were going to, like, poo on the floor.
I probably said I was going to throw up because I
You did say that.
get so much stomach acid.
Yeah, you said that too. Yeah. But, yeah. I hope he includes this.
We'll see.
Well.
I'm going to wait right here until all of that's deleted. Are we starting?
Yeah.
All right, welcome.
Awesome. Welcome. Welcome back to the Self-Help Hangover podcast with Kirk and Maegan.
Whoa. So I think we've released 20 episodes now.
Wow. So is this our 21st? Or wait, I guess we still have some that aren't released.
Yeah,
But
there's some that we haven't released yet, but
it's exciting.
online it says, and everything online is accurate, that 1% of podcasts make it to 20 episodes.
So did you get that from the AI overview?
I think so, yeah. Now, I think I saw that someplace before, but then I as a refresher, I Googled it and got the AI overview, and that was enough for me. So,
Enough said.
Yeah. So what's happening? We're just hanging out here. Maegan's cooking again, so we might
We're going to have some ravioli after this.
have to go check the stovetop in the middle of the episode.
Well, my dad, he only likes pasta sauce if it's been simmering for like a few hours before. So I had to start it before.
Whoa. I have taught you well.
I remember one time I made a pasta and I asked my dad if he had any advice, and he said, or I was making a pasta sauce and I asked him if he had any advice because my dad went on his mission to Italy and learned a lot about cooking, and he told me my advice is to have started it 3 hours earlier. So I always remembered that.
That doesn't, I mean, it's good advice, but not very helpful in the moment. Probably could have been delivered in a different way. But you've been putting that into practice since then?
I have been. I try to, yeah, if I have time, but
yeah,
it's hard sometimes to have time.
Well, anything else? Anything new?
I don't think so. Well, I'm trying to apply for master's programs at the moment, and it's I'm just realizing that now I have to take all these classes that are like, I mean, not a ton, but I think there's like 5 classes that are prerequisites for this program I want to get into, which is a nutrition program. So I've been registering for those.
Sports nutrition?
No, this one's actually called dietetics.
Uh-huh.
At USU. So.
Oh, really?
Yep.
USU. I always have
Utah
to
State.
think Utah State.
I know. I always have to like.
is up north and SUU is down south.
Which is the one that Ob used to go to?
SUU.
SUU. Okay.
Southern Utah.
SUU's in Cedar City, Southern Utah, and Utah State
is in Logan. Okay, and that's
so is this
north?
a remote program?
I'm partly. I might have to like
drive up there
or
live up there.
I'll figure it out when the time comes.
Well, that's exciting. I hope it works out.
I hope so too. So send me good vibes.
I will.
But yeah, it's
Always.
just, thank you. Anything new with you?
I don't know. I mean, I am getting ready for my big August art show at the Compass Gallery in Provo, and that's the main thing. Well, actually, the gallery, JKR Gallery, is coming up on 5 years, so
Wow, that's
we're going to be
exciting.
celebrating our 5-year anniversary with the same show that we opened it up with, which is the business card art show.
Oh, that's right.
So,
yeah. I have some friends who were in that.
Who were in it or
Who
are?
were in it previously.
Awesome.
One was a photographer that I took some photos with a few times. She's really awesome. And another one was this lady who used to go to my silver sneakers class at Vasa.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, the business card art show, there's lots of artists in it. Everybody makes artwork that's the size of a business card. And there's like 1,000 paintings or works of art in this show. So it's a fun one. It's affordable for most people. I think every piece is $80. $80 for a business card sized artwork, no matter who the artist is.
That's awesome.
So yeah, that's coming up in September.
That's exciting. Oh yeah, I did want to say, or sorry, are you done?
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say one more exciting thing is that I posted a new YouTube yoga video yesterday, so I'm really excited about that. I now have 3 videos up and more to come. So
3 yoga videos?
yeah, 3 yoga videos on YouTube. Yeah, they're all just 20 minutes. I have a longer one coming out soon, and I also have a a chair yoga video coming out soon too. So
I was doing yoga when you arrived this afternoon.
he was doing final shavasana on the couch.
That's right. Megan anticipated my joke. I was doing final shavasana on the couch,
His
which is
favorite
also, is that
pose.
known as the corpse pose?
Yeah,
or
it's also
something?
known as corpse pose.
So basically, I was laid out and unconscious almost. So
Yeah.
You gotta stop putting these for kids.
Wait, why?
Because then you can't comment.
on the YouTube videos,
Oh wait, I thought it was if it I thought it was if it
it was
wasn't
kid
me.
friendly.
Oh crap. Okay, so sorry, I have to switch it from
From 4 kids to
not for kids. Okay, that's my bad.
I liked it.
Thank you, Bri.
And Bryan wants to make a comment on it
And he wants to make a comment on it.
But I cannot, unfortunately.
because of the settings are for kids.
Oh, what? Okay, sorry. I'll go change that today. That's my bad.
All right, well, should we get into the book?
Let's do it. So we're reading You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero, and we're on chapters 3 and 4, right? Or
No,
sorry, we're on.
That was last week.
Okay, sorry, we're on 6 and 7.
5 and 6.
6, yeah.
But these chapters are so short, honestly.
They're so short.
I don't know if we can
We might need
keep
to.
it to 2 chapters.
Yeah, we might need to do like 3 chapters an episode.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll
They're
see.
so short. I listen to them in the car and they just fly by.
That's nice for those of us that have short attention
I know, it is
spans.
kind of nice.
So chapter 5 is called Self-Perception is a Zoo. What do you think she's trying to get at in this chapter?
Let's see. Remind me how this chapter starts to refresh my memory.
She's talking about how she has a friend that's a professional speaker, and her friend is so eloquent that when her friend orders at a restaurant or at a cafe, she is astounded at her friend's eloquence getting a burrito.
And then and then her friend says she's so well spoken, and then she tells Jen that she thinks that people are so bored whenever she talks, and she feels like she's just like uninteresting.
Yeah. Did she say that she felt like people are so bored?
Doesn't she say that? Like she like talk. She's like speaking at something, and then she's like.
She said she was so good, but also so like insecure. Couldn't decide if she was. Oh wait, that's a different friend. Basically, the point is that she's so talented, but also very self-critical or worried about her ability to speak. Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's what the chapter is about. There's 4 pages. She says here, it's just as easy to believe we're awesome as it is to believe we are giant sucking things.
What do you think about that?
I just read it, and so it's my turn to say, what do you think about that, Maegan?
I honestly I like it. I think it's so true. Like it's all of our thoughts are just like I mean, well, I wouldn't say though honestly that it's as easy because I feel like naturally I tend to think that I'm like it takes a lot more effort for me to be like, okay, yeah, I'm good at things, like I'm capable and I'm awesome, and than it does. I almost feel like my natural state is to like talk down to myself and doubt myself. But I like that idea. I would like it to be I'd like to switch my mindset to think that I'm awesome instead of doubting myself.
I was just looking for a meme or something because I often see people, particularly artists, since so many of my friends are artists, they post a meme or just a text thing that says art is a combination of I can't remember what it is. Art's a combination of something like narcissism or like living on a high and then crippling insecurity.
Lows. Oh,
Like you're moving back and forth between feeling like you're on top of the world and on the bottom of the world, essentially. Like,
that makes sense. Yeah. That reminds me of Bryan. I feel like Bryan feels like that. He's always like, I am the best musician in the world. And then like 2 weeks after his song comes out, he's like, that's the worst song I've ever heard.
And I'm always right. When I say both those things.
wow. Yeah. So why do you think that is? Why do you think we do that?
I don't know. I think it's just like, I mean, I think everyone's their own worst critic sometimes. So I think it's easy to criticize yourself and be super critical of yourself. But I don't know.
Have we already read that quote by this American Life guy on here?
I don't think so.
The Ira Glass quote about the gap.
I'm trying to remember. That sounds familiar, but I don't know if we've read it on here.
Can we read it on here, or is that too
I don't.
much? Let me just see. Okay, here it is right here. Come on, here we go. Okay. This is by Ira Glass. All credit to the great Ira Glass. No copyright infringement intended. Ira Glass says, nobody tells this to people who are beginners. I wish someone told me. All of us who do creative work, we get into it because we have good taste. But there is this gap. For the first couple years you make stuff, it's just not that good. It's trying to be good. It has potential, but it's not. But your taste, the thing that got you into the game, is still killer. And your taste is why your work disappoints you. A lot of people never get past this phase. They quit. Most people I know who do interesting creative work went through years of this. We know our work doesn't have this special thing we want it to have. We all go through this, and if you're just starting out or you are still in this phase, you got to know it's normal, and the most important thing you can do is a lot of work. Put yourself on a deadline so that every week you will finish one story. It is only by going through a volume of work that you will close that gap, and your work will be as good as your ambitions. And I took longer to figure out how to do this than anyone I've ever met. He's just being nice there, I think. It's going to take a while. It's normal to take a while. You've just got to fight your way through.
Wow. That's super interesting. I've never heard that before. But that's super inspirational. I think that's so true. I mean, I'm not like super into anything like artistic as much as you guys are, but I feel like I relate to that.
Did you just say you're not into anything artistic? Maegan, please never say the following sentence. I can't even draw a stick figure. Don't ever say that.
I can't remember if I've said this on here, but my dad has a drawing that I did on his bedroom wall, and it's one of my pride and joys.
Yeah, I love it. Maegan, I mean, I'll just tell the audience here that Maegan's done some great artwork.
Thank you.
You did a painted self-portrait that I've got somewhere.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's in a safe place. Pretty sure it is. Anyway, yeah. Someday I just hope you meet enough discouragement in your life in general that you're like, okay, fine, Dad, I'll be an artist.
He's like, I hope you hit that such a bad low that you decide to become an artist.
I hope you don't find out how many things I've been sabotaging in your life so that you'll become an artist.
He's preying on my downfall.
Just kidding. Okay, so back to her quote. It's just as easy to believe we're awesome as it is to believe we're giant sucking things. Now, first of all, I mean, I think that this ties into the Ira Glass quote in that the point that I want to make is that it's part of us is a critic, right? Like if you don't have a critical side, then you're probably not going to close that gap that we're talking about. So that critical side is also a blessing or potentially an important part of getting to where you want to go. And so I don't think that's one of the things that she's trying to get across here, but that's something that I want to get across is that when the critic rears its ugly head, that's okay. You can say, you are beautiful in your own way, ugly-headed criticism, because, you just got to, it's going to help raise the quality of what you're doing. So not only may it be as easy to believe we're awesome as it is to believe we're giant sucking things, that duality of our nature creates the pressure in which great things can be made.
Yeah.
That's the point that I want to make.
Yeah, that's really great.
Now, is it just as easy to believe we're awesome as it is to believe we're crappy? In your opinion?
No, I don't think so. I think it takes, maybe for some people, but I think for me, it takes more effort for me to think positive things, and I feel like over time I've had to kind of train my brain to stop saying negative things about myself and cheer myself on.
Yeah. I agree. I think her point is that if you're going to put effort into thinking about yourself in one way or another, might as well think positively about yourself.
Yeah.
But I agree with you that I think that it does take more work.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think it's just as easy.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Maegan, how are we going to make this interesting if we're not arguing about something? Just kidding. Okay. Here in another paragraph, she says, "You are loved." I'll just say "you are loved." I know sometimes I end sentences with an upward inflection. There's this TikToker that does like Utah accents and stuff ever since Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. He's been like, have you seen him? Where he's talking about how they talk.
I don't think I've seen this exact guy, but I've seen people talk about it. So maybe I have seen that guy, but I've seen multiple videos about like the Utah accent.
Yeah, so I'm sure part of that affects me. I don't think I'm like, I gotta wash my clothes kind of Utah accent, but I do like my S's. Like I sit on my S's too long, which is why I always hope that Bryan will use a de-esser on my voice. And then I also often end my sentences going up, which has its own, roots in our culture, but also it has its own meaning and kind of like you're trying to be agreeable or stuff, that kind of thing. So anyway, let me reread this. Quote, "You are loved. Massively, ferociously, unconditionally. The universe is totally freaking out about how awesome you are. It's got you wrapped in a warm gorilla hug of adoration. It wants to give you everything you desire. It wants you to be happy. It wants you to see what it sees in you."
Wow. I really like that idea about the universe, like always supporting you and loving you and wanting the best for you. Sometimes I have a hard time believing it though, just because obviously like, what's it called? The conditions of the world right now. It's just hard to believe that the universe wants the best for everybody.
There is a lot of cruelty and tragedy and there's in the world. It's not just a loving place, is it?
Absolutely not. Yeah. So it is hard for me to believe that that's true, but I do like the idea of that.
Do you know what makes me think about why it's hard for me to believe this?
What?
Children's books. So, you read children's books as a young person, you draw and you write stories in your 6th grade English class, and things are so, your teacher's so nurturing and everything. Everyone around you is like, "That's great, yeah, way to go, this is so wonderful." And then once you actually get into the professional world of children's books, it's like so competitive and cutthroat and
really
like non-nurturing. At least
that's interesting.
That was my experience, and I admittedly I didn't get far enough into it that I found a lot of success there. So, I did several picture books, and then ultimately my first book that was published was by Deseret Book, which is more of like a niche regional publisher. But all that to say, like, one of the things that in going through that experience and submitting things, and I was like, why aren't people nicer and more helpful?
Yeah.
And I'm sure if I had enough success and got far enough into it, that people would begin to be that, right? But But a lot of industries have a lot of gatekeepers, right?
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it can feel bad. It can feel like the universe is not your friend.
I
At
totally
least those,
get that.
you know, those.
The worst is like getting into a new industry and people are like, and it's like you have to like prove your like worth or something. Like it's like when you're like the new person, people just like look down on you or something.
Yeah, or they just ignore you.
Yeah, it's like you have to like do the time to like get like a rapport or something.
It's like that guy from the Napoleon Hill book. He talked about how there's this guy that is assigned to you to just
To just tear you down all
make
the
sure that you
time.
have a lot of that you get up enough times before he can decide to give you
have
success.
to like, you have to try and try and try. Yeah, it is like that.
Of course, it could be a woman that's doing that too.
It's true.
Anyway, so yeah, does the universe want you to be happy? I mean, I think if you're thinking about God and, you know, or your conception of God, I like to believe that's true.
Yeah.
And you have to wade through a lot of crap, you know.
Yeah, seriously. And then it's just so hard to think about people in like Palestine, and it just feels like there's no God for those people.
Yeah, it's a tough time.
Yeah.
And so not only is the gap that Ira Glass is talking about a personal gap that you have to close, right? Like between your taste and what you're making, but it's a gap that you have to prove that you can close for people around you.
Yeah.
And gatekeepers and things like that. I mean, it's nice in today's digital world that you can bypass a lot of the gatekeepers that you used to have to get past. But the problem is now you prove that you can get past them by beating the algorithm, right? So it's not even about art making.
Yeah.
It's about
literally
content making.
Yeah, it's about social media.
And sometimes that's just about rage baiting or
Literally.
shocking people enough.
It's literally just getting as many views as you can.
Yeah.
Like getting as many eyes as you can on your content or your stuff.
That's too bad. But I think that if you do continue to do good work long enough, that work can build you an audience.
Yeah. I was dying because the other day I saw this account and it was this girl or this woman. She looked like maybe in her 40s, but she had this Instagram and in her bio, she was all about health and wellness, but in her bio it just said health and fitness for conservatives.
Oh, really?
And I was like, I should just put my bio like health and fitness for liberals. Like,
That's funny.
it's just kind of funny. Like, it's just an interesting
I
thing.
think, maybe she's protecting herself against, maybe saying the wrong thing and getting people to come after her and cancel her or losing half of her audience or whatever.
But she had like a ton of followers. I was like, so I don't know. I think she probably, she knows what audience she is.
So maybe that's bringing them in. They see that and they're like, oh, I'm welcome here. And
yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay, wait while I go change all of my bios on all my social media right now.
Art for liberals.
Okay, one more thing on this chapter. She says, you are the only you there is and ever will be. I repeat, you are the only you there is and ever will be. Do not deny the world its one and only chance to bask in your brilliance.
I love that. I really do love that because I think that's so true. All of us are, that's what makes us so unique, is no one will be exactly like us. And because of that, we have something so valuable to bring to the world. And I think we have to remember that, especially when we compare ourselves to other people, that like no one can ever be me. And that's really special. And what I have to bring is so important to the world, and I can help people from my individual perspective and talents. So I really like that. That's something I try to remember when I find myself comparing myself to people.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it a lot too. Thank you, Jen.
Yeah.
Okay, the next chapter is chapter 6, Love the One You Is. Love the One You Is. And, oh, that's so funny. We talked about how she chooses good quotes. And here's a quote: "If we really love ourselves, everything in our life works."
Yeah.
That's by Louise Hay, author, publisher, the godmother of self-help, who was doing it way back when it still wasn't cool.
Louise Hay, that sounds so familiar. What did she write?
I don't
Do you
know.
know?
I'm not
Sounds
familiar
really
with Louise
familiar.
Hay. That actually reminds me of the scripture in the New Testament. A scripture in the New Testament. How does that scripture go? All things work together for good to them that love the Lord, or something like that, and are called according to his purpose. Have you heard that one?
I have. I think actually, did you post that sometime recently? I feel like I saw that on your story one time.
I don't remember posting it recently.
I've heard it I've definitely heard it before, and I swear I saw it from you.
Okay. Well, I do love that scripture. Let's see. Where did it go? And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are called according to his purpose. That's Romans 8:28. I think that is to me that verse says, like, yeah, you'll go through great things and horrible things. And that also ties into an LDS scripture. What is it, when Joseph Smith was told, like, all of these things will help you grow, essentially. Like, he was going through a bunch of crap. And so anyway, it's probably common in lots of religious traditions, that kind of idea. Like, if you can learn from your challenges, then that's a way to make the best of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hi, my name is Curtis Biggs. I'm a trombonist and a composer of contemporary art music, and I teach the low brass studio at Snow College in Utah. I just released a new album of all original music called Wind Meditations. In this album, I use the trombone in creative ways you have likely never heard before to create atmospheric soundscapes. You'll hear me divert the air out of an attached tube instead of the bell to create haunting, distant melodies. I play the bell section of the trombone without the slide attached to create the T-horn, sounding something like a cross between a French horn and euphonium. I use multiphonics, singing through the instrument while playing, in combination with the wah-wah mute to make a sound reminiscent of overtone singing. And in the title track, I use a combination of techniques, including circular breathing, playing a continuous drone while I sing a melody I heard in the wind while driving through Utah's Echo Canyon. Wind Meditations by Curtis Biggs is available on all streaming and download platforms, and is also available for download at curtistrombone.com. You can read more about all these pieces and find links to the album on my website as well. That's curtistrombone.com. You can also find me on Instagram and YouTube at Curtis Trombone. I'm a member of the American Composers Alliance, and my published scores are available at composers.com.
Okay, let's see. In this chapter, we have a quote here. We're born knowing how to trust our instincts, how to breathe deeply, how to eat only when we're hungry, how to not care about what anyone thinks of our singing voices, dance moves, or hairdos. We know how to play, create, and love without holding back. Then, as we grow and learn from the people around us, we replace many of these primal understandings with negative false beliefs, fear, shame, and self-doubt.
Yeah, I relate to that. I think that's true. Because when we're younger, we just have no like social expectations or cares about. Yeah, we just don't have like a care in the world when we're younger, and as you grow up, you start to experience things that shape your expectations of yourself and how you think you're supposed to be.
Yeah. Picasso allegedly, Picasso is supposed to have said, "Every child is an artist. The problem is how to remain an artist once we grow up."
Wow. That's really awesome.
I love that idea. And to me, it contradicts a little bit with this idea on the next page. She says, it isn't until we reconnect with who we truly are and start investing in what's true for us that we start to live rich, full, authentic lives. Maybe that doesn't contradict. I think I just had in my mind, like, we were free to do things unapologetically when we were children, but we also had to grow up, right? Like,
yeah.
I'm not doing the artwork now that I did when I was young. And when I try to make childlike things now, they seem forced. Like, they don't seem authentically childlike.
Yeah.
So I guess what I was thinking about that is, it's not a reconnection for me. It's growing into a new me. Like, I feel like we're always growing into new people. But I don't know.
Yeah.
You could convince me otherwise. Do you
I
feel like
agree
you're
with that.
reconnecting with your...
I mean, in a way, but I also like, I agree with you. I like who I become more every year, and I really appreciate the fact that we can grow and go through experiences that change us. Because I think back to, like, if I would ever go back to being a kid, and honestly, I would never want to go back to being a kid just because I love the independence of adulthood, and I just love who I've become, I feel like. But I do certainly like the idea of doing inner child work and going back to kind of reverting back to that mindset that I had before I had all of these solidified ideas of of things about myself that I don't like. Like, for example, like when I like that I always think that I'm like weird or something, that like I have to like kind of go back and be like, well, and kind of like unlearn that behavior, because I don't think I ever thought that when I was a kid. And so I think there's a good duality of like growing up but also kind of reconnecting with who you were before your mind was twisted. Yeah.
Or reparenting yourself as you continue to grow up.
Yeah, for sure.
Or something like that. Has anybody, since our last episode came out that talked about how people think you're weird, has anybody reassured you otherwise, come up to you and said, Maegan, we don't think you're weird?
No. Maybe I should take that as a sign. No, I haven't had anyone.
None of our 10 listeners did that?
No. I'm a little offended. Just kidding. But no one has, but that's okay. Like I don't need I don't need someone to tell me that, but someone did follow me on Instagram yesterday and commented on my post and said, I found you from you and your dad's podcast, and I want to learn more about health and fitness. And I was like,
that's cool.
Like, that's so cool. I was really,
it looks like you need to pay me and Bryan each $2 for that
commission.
Advertising. Just kidding. Okay, there's a quote. Imagine what our world would be like if everyone loved themselves so much that they weren't threatened by other people's opinions, or skin colors, or sexual preferences, or talents, or education, or possessions, or lack of possessions, or religious beliefs, or customs, or their general tendency to just be whoever the heck they are. That was the Utah version.
Yeah. That would be awesome. This kind of reminds me of what Napoleon Hill talks about in the future people.
Oh yeah, he had a very utopian view of the future.
Yeah, for sure. And I think what we kind of said before is that'll be awesome, but probably will never happen.
Well, we should break into singing Imagine right now by the Beatles. Or that's just John Lennon, wasn't it?
I can only imagine.
Oh, that's that's a good one too. One is about religion and one is about no religion, so that's kind of interesting.
I don't know if I know the one that you're talking about.
Imagine all the people.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Let's keep going. Okay. She says, you are kind of a big deal. I mean, she says that a lot. Here's my only caveat to that. Like everyone, it just reminds me of that, The Incredibles.
I was just about to say this. And he's
what?
like, and if everyone's super, nobody is.
That's right. The Incredibles. If everyone is a superhero, then no one is. Okay. So I just want to say that I don't want to be a supervillain like Incrediboy. Or what does he become?
He becomes, wait, so he's incredible. He becomes
Syndrome.
Yeah,
okay.
That's right.
So my only thought about that is that self-worth should be. Self-worth is it just is, right? Yeah. Your worth is, regardless of your validity in the eyes of others.
Yeah.
So everyone's a deal, a big deal, or everyone is an equal deal.
Yeah. No one's better than anyone else.
We're going to take a little break while Bryan goes to
stir the sauce.
To stir the sauce. Did you hear what Aunt Jenny said about including our culinary exploits or your bread making and the...
No,
she
Aunt
thought
Jenny,
that was clever.
Jenny Tolk.
And I was like, we're not like intentionally trying to...
Oh, that's nice. I didn't... Did she say that to you personally or over text?
I think maybe on text.
Those texts are so are so weird because sometimes I get them, but sometimes I don't in the family group chat. So
anyway,
that's nice of her.
So, but now we know that we can actually plot.
We should
to include cooking.
There actually is no sauce.
Oh, you guys, this sauce is so amazing. If you follow us on the Patreon, we'll give you the recipe.
It's vodka sauce from a can.
I'm just kidding. We don't have any recipes on the Patreon, but maybe we could.
We could include some.
I have been developing one recipe over the course of my many-year life.
The salmon sauce.
Yeah.
Oh my
this
gosh.
Pink
It's
sauce salmon.
amazing. Unreal.
So maybe.
Burning on the bottom.
It's burning on the bottom?
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
No.
Wait, can I go look at it really fast?
Okay. Well, while Megan's going to check the sauce, we'll just finish off this chapter. Maybe we should put Bryan in the hot seat. Okay. So. Oh. Well, let's see. So the first thing is appreciate how special you are. The second thing is drown yourself in affirmations. Bryan, what do you think about affirmations?
What do I think about affirmations?
Do you use them?
No, but I also feel like I have become far too nihilistic. So I feel like it could only be a good thing in my life personally.
Is this podcast helping you with your nihilism, or is it just feeding it? Or
It's
neither?
reminding me of how much I need to change about my my habits.
It's reminding him how bad his personality
So
is.
exactly.
how would you? What are your? Do you have plans to make adjustments to your?
I was talking to my therapist about how I want to find some sort of spirituality in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that kind of, what's the word? The things, the quotes, what are they called? Affirmations.
Yeah.
I was like in that same world. So I have vague plans. I have no hard plans.
Okay.
But Maegan is back, and she can take over now.
All right. Well, that's interesting to hear, Bryan. And we talked about affirmations. Napoleon Hill called it autosuggestion, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I think those are the same things. And she lists some here that I like. I'm one with the universe. The universe is awesome, and so am I. My heart is open. Love pours in and out. I'm brilliant, bright, and beautiful. I mean, these are pretty abstract. My affirmations were more concrete, like, my name is J. Kirk Richards, and I'm going to be the next, or I am the next Leonardo da Vinci. I said that kind of thing to myself when I was a young lad. But what do you think about this one? I deserve and receive massive amounts of love every moment of every day.
It's a little intense. I'm trying to think of moments that I've received massive amounts of love. Every time I teach silver sneakers, I receive massive amounts of love.
That is so wonderful. I love
is
that
it is
that you
wonderful.
have that class and that they are so good to you and that
They
I
are
think
so
they love
nice
you.
to me. Maybe like more than I deserve, but I mean, I think it might be a little bit excessive to say to expect or to even want massive amounts of love every second of every day.
It's a lot of pressure.
It is, for sure.
So anyway, I just want to say that generally, I think those affirmations are good, but also that is a risk, right?
Yeah.
Like to give yourself these kind of outrageous expectations in your affirmations might be more harmful than it is good.
Yeah.
She says, and this is a lot like Napoleon Hill, the more emotion you feel around what you're saying, the more power it will have to bring about positive change. She's like,
she's saying,
he was like, infuse emotion into your
Yeah.
affirmations. And then she says, and yes, at the beginning it may feel like you're lying to yourself, but the truth is you're living the lie, so the affirmations get you back to truth.
So it's like basically like if you're convincing yourself enough, then it will become the truth.
I think that what she's saying is the life that you're living right now is not the truth. And so the affirmations are convincing you of what the actual truth is.
Oh, interesting.
I think that's okay. I mean, I also think that you can use affirmations to put yourself in the state of mind of how it would be and how you are as what you want to be.
Yeah.
Without having to say that the present is a lie.
Yeah.
But yeah, just when you can imagine and really feel yourself in that state of success or achievement or whatever you want, then you're probably going to do and act and believe in things that you might not otherwise.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the big benefits. Okay. 3 in her list of things to do is do things you love. You aren't a selfish person for taking care of yourself, just a happier one.
I like that. I feel like I live by that. Or, yeah, like I feel like that's something I live by usually. I try to take care of myself.
Yeah, I wrote yes, exclamation in the margin. And then I put a slash. And then she says, take care of yourself as if you're the most awesome person you've ever met.
Wait, sorry. So are you disagreeing with that part?
I want to hear your reaction before I
I mean,
weigh
here's
in on
the thing. I think that that's really helpful for a certain type of person who has a hard time thinking that they're awesome or that they're that they have value. I think that's helpful for that type of person. I think there's another type of person that's maybe needs to read a different book that's about humility, and maybe narcissistic people. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think
we need to pull people in a certain direction.
Yeah,
and give
exactly.
them the message that will pull them in that direction.
Yeah.
So it's the same issue that I have with that other affirmation. To take care of yourself as if you're the most awesome person you've ever met just feels exhausting to me, and like you said, you can overspend.
Yeah,
right?
For sure. Mm-hmm.
And there are ways to love yourself that are not going to that are saving, and
that's something I've been trying to work on lately is being okay, I'm showing myself that I love myself by not spending too much money.
Yeah. So one of the thing that I wrote in the margin here is exhausting ? And then it reminded me of something that an art director once said. He said, every painting should be your best one yet. And I'm like, that's just not practical.
Yeah, that's way too much pressure.
If I was going to do my greatest painting every, in sequence, they would all get bigger. And I'd just be doing these giant paintings that nobody would ever buy. And so, I mean, I do like the idea of always trying to improve and build on the things that you did previously.
Sometimes you have to get out the crappy stuff to get to the good stuff.
Yeah,
it's okay
and
to
sometimes
have bad.
It's just I'm going to do something simple.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful in its simplicity, and it doesn't have to be it doesn't have to supersede the previous attempts.
Yeah. For sure.
Okay. Find a replacement. I'm not exact. Let me just say, I've got this part highlighted. Note the verbiage that runs through your mind when you're being the most heinous to yourself. and come up with a new and improved response.
Yeah.
Have you ever done that?
Yeah, I have. Sometimes, like, I'll get down about something, or I'll be like, for example, I'll leave to go down the hill from our house and I'll forget something, and it just, like, really is like, if I had just brought that one thing, it wouldn't have wasted so much time. And then I'll just, like, I'll find myself being like, I'm an idiot in my head, like, over and over again, or like, and then I kind of have to be like, okay, well, I shouldn't think that about myself. Like, I'm not an idiot. I just made a mistake that any human could have made, and it's okay. Like, I need to not say that because I'll internalize that. And
so how do you, so then do you have replacement scripts or something?
yeah, I'll just say, like, I mean, just exactly what I said. Like, I'll be like, I'm not an idiot. I just made a mistake and nobody's perfect, kind of thing.
What about, how has your partner treated you in an instance like that? Do you have things that, do you have, like, things that he's said that echo in your head ever? Or have you had a partner that's kind of given you a hard time for things that...
I'm trying to think if there's an example.
I mean, that's a very personal question. We don't need to answer that here, but I think it's worth thinking about.
It is worth
how do we respond to our partner?
To our partners, and how does your partner
when they
when they mess up? Yeah. It is a good thing to think about for sure.
Okay, she says, what you tell yourself on a daily basis is more powerful than you know. And I agree with that. But, this is part of this section of the book is called Ditch the Self-Deprecating Humor.
Oh, I remember this part.
So I wrote wrong. I wrote wrong on this sentence. Most importantly, constantly making fun of yourself is such a cheap way to be funny. Anyone can do it.
Well, I don't know. Sometimes I agree with you. I think it's fine to laugh at yourself and, like, find humor in, like, things that you do that are just, I mean, I don't think I always make self-deprecating jokes, and I don't think it's that bad.
I think, like, many of our favorite comedians do that.
Yeah,
it's better to
for sure.
do that than, like, be punching down at other people.
Yeah,
you know?
Or to take yourself too seriously and never be able to admit any faults or something.
I mean, I can see that it could get out of control if you let it affect, like, if it's a manifestation or of how you actually feel about yourself, like you really feel down about yourself.
Yeah.
But humor is a way to deal with that.
It really is, yeah.
So anyway, I just kind of, I don't think that's helpful advice. If I'm wrong, let me know. That you may have some experience with this in your life, or know somebody that is so self-deprecating that it is
harmful,
hurting their functionality or whatever. Okay. Quote, receive compliments gracefully instead of countering with a disclaimer such as, oh, this ratty old thing, try this instead. Thank you, period.
I like that. I've been trying to do that, actually, because I feel like I used to be someone who really deflected compliments, and I've tried to just receive them and be genuinely like, thank you, and just appreciate it instead of not accepting the compliment.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's good. I remember my older sister when I was young. She said, I watched my friend just say thank you when she got a compliment. I thought it was so good, and so that's what I'm going to try to do instead.
Oh, that's really
so I remember
cute.
her saying that, and I thought, yeah, I'll do it too. I do sometimes get sheepish, particularly like if there's an artwork that's half finished or something. Then I almost always feel obligated to say that this painting isn't done yet.
Yeah.
But But yeah, just to be able to say thank you.
Yeah,
I think some people have to practice it.
for sure.
Okay, so meanwhile, she says, during our little sojourn here on earth, we need our bodies more than they need us. Say nice things about your body, dress it up, and take it out. Give it hot sex, luxurious baths, and massages. Move it, stretch it, nourish it, hydrate it. Pay attention to it. The better our bodies feel, the happier and more productive we are.
I agree with that 100%. I think the better our bodies feel, the happier we are. And yeah, like I always say this, but the more we're moving our bodies and putting good food in our bodies, it makes a huge difference on how we feel.
What do you think about dressing up?
This is something I actually think about so much because I hardly ever dress up, and I hardly get actually ready in the mornings, and that's something I actually want to change about my life, because sometimes I'm like, I just look at people who get ready every day, like my friends, and I'm like, I'm thinking of my two friends in specific, Jing and Lexi. I don't think they'll care if I say that, but they're just always like looking good, and I'm like, dang, I kind of want to be like that. And so that's something I've really thought about, like trying to make a habit. Like, I'm getting ready every morning, even if that's like, it doesn't have to be like I'm curling my hair, but I've always hated dressing up. Like when my parents had family photos, I'd be like the least cooperative, and I never would put, I'd be like, can I wear a t-shirt? Anyway, whatever. But now that I'm older and I don't really have, like, I don't get to hang out with Amy, with your mom at church, for example. That was when we would get dressed. We dress up every week, Mm-hmm.
And so, but I don't get to do that with her, so because I just go alone most of the time. So I love to like plan a date where we get dressed up.
I really like that. Yeah.
I don't think I think a lot of people just don't dress up anymore.
Yeah.
And I wonder if that's one reason. I have no data to support this, but a lot of people get like in trad mode.
Yeah.
And I wonder if a lot of it is just aesthetic. Like if we dressed up more today, would there be less nostalgia that was like, we want to go back to everything that was in the 50s without really considering how minorities and women were treated back then? But we love it so much because the present is so drab, because everybody's in, whatever they wear.
Are you saying that people dressed up more in the past?
Yeah, definitely.
Like dresses and stuff, and like,
okay,
like
Sunday
I see
dinner,
what you're saying.
or
going
out for the evening stroll on the promenade.
I get exactly what you're saying. I remember one time, I feel like maybe I said this before, but I just remember one time my dad, when we were little and we lived in Provo, my dad was like, we're getting a little too casual on Sundays. And he was like, well, I think we should start wearing our church clothes all day, like even after church.
I said that?
Yeah, but I don't think we ever did it once.
Well, I'm glad that didn't prevail.
Yeah, because I remember I was like, no, because I hated wearing tights. That was the one thing I hated. They were so uncomfortable.
Yeah. I mean, when I grew up, that we had to do that at our house. I don't think that was how the Tolks lived. So, I'm glad that we took the Tolk route on that one. I actually think that my family, the Richards family kind of moved away from that the older I got.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be pretty common to see my dad in a white shirt and jeans, just change the pants after church.
That's still pretty, like, dressed up, I would say, but.
All right, well, anyway, I'm going to start a movement to get dressed up more. So everybody put on your fancy clothes every once in a while. Okay, here, how about this one? Quote, can you imagine what our world would be like if our biggest heroes succumbed to the perils of comparison? If Marilyn Monroe compared herself to Kate Moss and decided she needed to lose her curves? Or if the guys in Led Zeppelin compared themselves to Mozart? Dude, that guy's huge, way huger than we'll ever be, and he doesn't even have to have a drummer. I think we should get rid of ours and maybe add some harps while we're at it.
Brian's face.
Brian, did you want to say something about that quote?
No.
Okay. What do you...
Brian always just, like, judges us sometimes, like, with his face.
What do you think, Maegan?
I see what she's saying, like, you can't compare yourself because things are so good in different ways. Like, you can't compare, like, the sun and the moon because they're both beautiful, but they're completely different.
Yeah, we wouldn't want Rembrandt to be Van Gogh.
Yeah.
Or vice versa.
Yeah.
But also comparison. When I was reading this, I was thinking about the Beatles and the Beach Boys. They were totally comparing themselves. Each band was comparing themselves to the other.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
I've got to write a song as good as the new Beach Boys song. How can I do that? So, so she asks, can you imagine? Yes, I can, because I've heard about the Beatles and the Beach Boys. But, and so, yeah, and I think there were artists like Raphael and Michelangelo, like sometimes that competition, that competitive spirit spurred these people to like great, great heights.
Yeah.
So I think it's more a question of what we do with the comparison.
For sure, yeah.
We don't want to become somebody else.
Sometimes you need a rival.
Yeah. That is why I have decided... No, I was just going to make a joke.
He was going to say someone specific.
I was going to make a joke. Well, I was thinking about when Bryan's friends came over. They were like, hey, Kirk, did you know that you're on our list of most handsome dads?
Oh, yeah. They ranked all of their friends' dads, and my dad was number 2. And he was so upset that he wasn't number 1.
Oh, yeah, I was raging. I was raging so hard.
He jokes about it, but he made comments about it all the time.
No, I think it's hilarious. And do you remember who the first person was?
I do, yes.
Another
artist. It was another artist,
Tyson
which made
Snow.
which put a twist
Call out
in the
to
dagger.
Tyson Snow. Tyson Snow is a very handsome man. So all I can say is, yes, Tyson, I'm going to try to use that energy to improve my appearance, but I'm not going to let it get me down.
On my dad's story, it's going to be like, who do you think is more attractive? He'll have a picture of
that would be
Tyson's.
too hard on my ego when I lose to Tyson Snow, not just from Bryan's friends' votes, but from my whole
from the
Instagram community. That would be horrible. Okay. Another thing she says here, we'll wrap this up. We said this was going to be like super short.
I know, we were like, these
it's probably like
chapters
the
are
longest
so short.
episode we've done.
We could find anything to talk about.
Okay, so she says, guilt, shame, and self-criticism are some of the most destructive forces in your life, which is why forgiving yourself is one of the most powerful.
I really like that for sure. I think the only way, this is something I think about a lot, to be honest, but the only way to become a better person is you have to forgive yourself and take accountability for what you've done and move on. And like, you just have to realize that like you don't have to be that person anymore, I guess, because shame This is from my therapist. Shame is not productive, but guilt is, because shame is like, I'm a bad person. I'm just inherently bad. But guilt is realizing that you did something wrong and taking accountability for it. So anyways, that's kind of like
Okay,
off topic,
so she says guilt is destructive with shame, but you're saying that shame is destructive, but guilt is all right.
Yeah. Because you have to feel guilty about things, or like, it's like there's nothing worse than people that like do something wrong and won't take accountability for it. It's like guilt. You have to feel guilty about things, or you're a psychopath.
Okay, so don't be a psychopath.
Yeah.
Are you saying that Jen Sincero's a psychopath?
I mean, I don't know. I haven't met her personally, but if she's the type of person that doesn't apologize, then I would not want to be her friend.
Okay. I hope she never hears that. No.
But I'm sure
No,
I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think you make an important point. Right, yeah, like psychopaths don't feel guilt, right?
Yeah.
So don't get down on yourself if you feel those feelings
If
that
you feel
spur
guilt,
you
it's
on to do
probably
better
a good thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
if you're feeling guilt and you use that in a productive way, then it's a good thing.
Okay. Well, that's it. That's chapters 5 and 6. Anything you want to wrap up with
I don't think so.
before we go check
The
pasta sauce?
Yeah. I don't think so. But thank you for listening. We're gonna have a new ad on here soon. It might even be on one of the previous episodes. So but it's really awesome.
That's right. That somebody paid $6 for.
Oh yeah. So if
you want to advertise on our podcast, the next ad's going to cost $12.
yeah.
Let us know. If you have comments or questions, you can message the self-help hangover on Instagram, and sign up for our Patreon. There's already one bonus episode there. Hopefully we'll put a second one there this month. And rate, review, subscribe if you feel like it. And we'll see you around.
Awesome. Thank you for listening.